Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive. This time we're looking ahead to 2025 and some creative side hustles that you might not have heard of.
That's right. You know, a lot of people are looking for extra income these days.
Yeah, especially with everything going on right now in the economy. We're just looking for some extra cash.
Absolutely.
And we found that 36% of Americans already have side hustles.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, so if you haven't thought about it yet, now is the perfect time.
Yeah, jump right in.
So we're going to explore some seriously cool side hustles that go way beyond just your typical dog walking or online surveys.
Definitely some innovative things.
So you've probably heard of those, like driving for rideshare apps or selling crafts online.
Right, the usual suspects.
But what about creating AI-generated videos or flipping furniture?
Ooh, now you're talking. Those are some interesting ones.
Yeah, and that's what we're diving into today.
Let's get started.
Okay, so let's start with AI-generated videos. Have you heard of these?
I have. They're getting really popular. It's pretty amazing, actually.
Yeah, I've heard of them, but I don't really understand how they work.
Well, basically, you can create entire videos using AI tools, so you don't even have to be on camera.
Whoa, seriously, no filming required.
Nope, it's all done through AI.
That sounds too good to be true. Tell me more about these AI tools.
Well, there are platforms like InVideo that make it really easy.
InVideo? Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like video editing software, but it's supercharged with AI, so you can use their library of stock footage and music, add in some text.
Oh, what?
And even choose different AI-generated voices for your narration.
So you're telling me I can make a professional-looking video without any fancy equipment or editing skills?
Exactly. That's the beauty of it.
That's pretty incredible.
Mhm.
Okay, so the tech sounds really cool, but can you actually make money from these faceless videos?
Oh, absolutely. There are tons of monetization strategies.
Okay, I'm all ears.
So the obvious one is ad revenue from platforms like YouTube.
Right, that makes sense.
But you can also get creative with things like affiliate marketing.
Affiliate marketing.
Okay, yeah. So let's say your video is about home organization. You could include links to products you recommend on Amazon, for example.
Oh, I see.
And then you earn a commission for each sale.
That's smart. So beyond YouTube, there are other ways to make money with these videos then?
For sure. Another big one is sponsorships.
Sponsorships. How does that work with faceless videos?
Well, brands are always looking for new ways to reach their target audience.
Right.
So if your videos have a strong following in a specific niche, you could attract sponsorships from companies that want to tap into that audience.
Wow. Sponsorships for faceless videos. I never would have thought of that.
Yeah, it's a growing trend.
Okay, so what else?
As your channel grows and you build a community, you could even create and sell your own digital products.
Like what kind of digital products?
Well, let's say your videos focus on teaching a particular skill, like graphic design or something like that.
Yeah.
You could create an accompanying ebook or an online course
And then
promote it to your viewers.
That's a really good idea. So there's real potential here to turn this into a sustainable income stream.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm impressed. Okay, let's switch gears for a minute and talk about something a little more hands-on. Furniture flipping.
Okay. Yeah, furniture flipping.
I've always been curious about that.
It's a great side hustle.
So tell me, what is furniture flipping?
Basically, it's all about finding undervalued pieces of furniture, giving them some love, fixing them up, and then selling them for a profit.
Okay, so where do you find these hidden gems? Are we talking antique stores, flea markets?
You can find great deals in a lot of places, but online platforms like Facebook Marketplace have become really popular for furniture flippers.
Oh, Facebook Marketplace, okay.
Yeah, people are constantly getting rid of furniture for cheap.
Why is that?
Well, maybe it's outdated or it needs a little bit of work, but you can often find some real treasures.
So let's say I find a dusty old dresser online. What's next? Do I need to be like a skilled craftsperson to do this?
Not necessarily. There are some techniques like sanding and repainting that can really transform a piece of furniture.
Okay.
And you don't need advanced woodworking skills for that.
Right.
Of course, if you have those skills, that's a bonus.
Yeah, of course.
But you can start with simpler projects and work your way up as you get more comfortable.
What about reupholstering? I feel like that's a bit intimidating.
Yeah, reupholstering can be a bit more challenging, but there are so many tutorials online that can walk you through the process.
Really?
Yeah, and sometimes, just a simple fabric swap on a chair can make a huge difference.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Without having to do full reupholstery.
Right, so let's say I found a piece, I fixed it up, it looks amazing. How do I know what to sell it for?
Pricing seems tricky.
Yeah, pricing is definitely key.
So how do you figure it out?
Well, you need to factor in the cost of the furniture itself, the materials you used,
Okay.
and the time you invested.
Right. Makes sense.
You also need to research what similar pieces are selling for online and in your local area. So you don't want to undersell yourself. You also want to make sure you're pricing competitively.
Exactly.
And I imagine photos are super important when you're selling online, right?
Oh, absolutely. High quality photos are essential. Buyers want to see the piece in its best light.
That makes sense. Okay, this is great stuff. I'm loving these ideas. Now, let's move on to our third side hustle, which is perfect for anyone who loves sharing their knowledge, online course creation.
Yeah, online courses are huge right now.
It seems like everyone's taking them these days
They are. It's a booming market, and it's a great way to leverage your expertise.
and make some money.
Then make some money, exactly.
But with so many courses already out there, how do you make yours stand out?
That's a good question. It's all about finding your niche.
Your niche.
Yeah, and offering something unique.
Okay, so what does that mean?
Well, think about your skills and experience. What could you teach others that they can't find anywhere else?
Okay, so what if I'm an expert in a specific software program?
Perfect. That's a great example.
Okay, what else?
Or maybe you have a unique approach to photography, or you're really good at knitting.
Oh, like a niche skill.
Exactly.
Okay, so I've got my niche. What's next? Where do we even start creating a course?
Well, there are platforms like Udemy and Teachable that make it really easy.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of those.
They provide all the tools you need, to structure your content,
Huh?
upload videos, create quizzes, things like that.
So you don't have to build a website or anything?
Nope, they handle all of that for you.
That's awesome. Okay, but what about marketing? How do you actually get people to sign up for your course?
Right, marketing is crucial.
Any tips?
Well, you can use social media to reach your target audience.
Okay.
You can offer free previews of your course, maybe a few introductory modules.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, and you can even collaborate with influencers in your niche.
Influencers. Okay,
Spread the word.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So many good ideas. And finally, for our last side hustle, let's talk about subscription newsletters.
Newsletters, yeah, they're making a comeback.
It seems like everyone's starting one these days.
They are, and for good reason.
Why is that?
Well, they're a great way to connect with an audience, share your unique perspective, and build a community around your passions.
I love the community aspect, but
Yeah.
where do you even begin with creating a successful newsletter?
The first step is defining your niche.
Here's that word again, niche.
It's all about the niche.
So what does that mean in terms of newsletters?
Well, who is your target audience?
Okay.
What are their specific interests or problems?
Right.
The more targeted your newsletter is, the more likely you are to attract a loyal following.
So if I'm passionate about sustainable living,
Yes.
I wouldn't create a general lifestyle newsletter.
Right.
I'd focus specifically on eco-conscious tips, product recommendations, resources for living a greener life.
Exactly. You got it.
Okay, so it's all about finding your tribe, those people who are really passionate about the same things you are.
That's it.
I love that. Okay, so once you know your niche, how do you actually grow your subscriber base? Is it all about social media?
Social media is definitely helpful, but there are other strategies too.
Like what?
You can promote your newsletter on your website or blog.
Makes sense.
You can offer free lead magnets like ebooks or checklists in exchange for email signups.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And you can even partner with other newsletters in your niche to cross-promote.
Cross-promotion smart. Okay, so you've got people signing up for your newsletter, but how do you keep them engaged? I'm sure we've all experienced newsletters that quickly lose their appeal.
Yeah, that's true. It happens.
So how do you avoid that?
Consistency and value are key.
Consistency and value.
You need to deliver content that's interesting, informative, and relevant to your audience.
So no spamming people with irrelevant content or promotional overload.
Definitely not. People are bombarded with information these days, so your newsletter needs to provide a compelling reason for them to open your emails and stay subscribed.
I hear that. So it's all about quality over quantity.
Absolutely. Quality is key.
Okay, I'm sold on the value part, but how do you actually make money from a newsletter?
There are a few different ways. One popular approach is paid subscriptions,
Paid subscriptions. Okay.
where subscribers pay a recurring fee to access premium content.
Premium content, like what?
Things like exclusive articles, in-depth reports, maybe access to a private community forum.
So it's like creating a VIP experience for your most loyal subscribers.
Exactly.
That's interesting.
Okay, what else?
Another option is sponsorships.
Sponsorships. Oh, yeah, we talked about that with the videos.
Right, so similar concept here.
Mhm.
Companies want to reach your audience if it aligns with their target market.
Makes sense.
So they'll pay you to include their ads or sponsored content in your newsletter.
And I'm guessing affiliate marketing could also be a good fit for newsletters.
Absolutely. You can recommend products or services that are relevant to your audience and earn a commission on any sales generated through your affiliate links.
So there are a lot of ways to monetize a newsletter.
Yeah, it's pretty versatile.
This is fascinating. It sounds like a newsletter can be much more than just a way to share information. It can actually be a platform for building a business. Exactly, and for connecting with your audience on a deeper level.
That's awesome. Okay, so we've covered 4 really cool creative side hustles today. AI-generated videos, furniture flipping online courses, and subscription newsletters. I'm feeling inspired. What about you?
Definitely, these are some great options for anyone looking to diversify their income in 2025.
And beyond.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, so we talked about finding furniture online for flipping, but what about, those of us who love the thrill of the hunt? Going out and finding those pieces ourselves.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's definitely an art to thrifting for furniture flips.
I bet.
It's like treasure hunting. You never know what you're going to find.
That's so true.
Yeah, the key is to really train your eye to spot potential, look beyond the surface imperfections
Okay.
and imagine what a piece could look like with a little TLC.
So I'm walking through a crowded flea market. What should I be looking for? Any, telltale signs that a piece is a diamond in the rough?
Good question. Well, solid wood construction is always a good
Oh.
sign. It means the piece is durable and can withstand, some wear and tear.
Makes sense.
Also, look for interesting details like intricate carvings,
Okay.
unique hardware, unusual shapes.
Got it.
Those elements can really elevate a piece once it's been refinished.
I can see that. Okay, so I'm picturing myself with my tape measure and a magnifying glass hunting down those hidden gems.
I love it.
But let's talk about the business side of things. You
Yeah.
flipped a piece. It looks amazing.
Yeah.
Now, how do you actually get it in front of potential buyers?
Yeah, we've got a few options online marketplaces like Facebook Marketplace, Etsy. Even Craigslist can be great for reaching a wide audience.
Right.
But don't underestimate the power of local channels, too.
Oh, okay.
Like consignment shops, antique malls, even pop-up markets.
Yeah,
Those can be great for connecting with buyers who prefer to see pieces in person.
that's a good point. And what about pricing? How do you find that sweet spot between making a profit and not scaring off potential buyers?
Yeah, pricing is always a balancing act.
It is.
You want to make sure you cover your costs, the furniture itself, the materials, your time.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, make a reasonable profit.
Right.
But you also need to consider the market. What are buyers willing to pay?
That makes sense.
Researching comparable pieces is essential, but you also need to factor in the unique qualities of your flipped piece.
So if I've added some really special touches like hand-painted details or custom hardware,
Yeah.
I can justify a higher price point.
Absolutely. Those unique touches add value and make your piece stand out from the crowd, so don't be afraid to highlight them in your descriptions and photos.
Okay, good to know. This is all so helpful. Now, I'm curious to dive a little deeper into online course creation.
Okay, yeah.
It seems like there are so many platforms out there. Udemy, Teachable, Skillshare.
Yeah.
The list goes on. How do you know which one is right for you?
That's a great question. Choosing the right platform is important.
It is.
It really depends on your needs and goals,
Okay,
Udemy is a great option if you're looking for a massive marketplace with a built-in audience,
that sounds good.
but you'll be competing with a lot of other courses.
Right.
So standing out can be a challenge.
So if I'm just starting out, Udemy might be a good place to test the waters and see if there's an audience for my course.
Exactly.
Okay, what about the other one?
Well, Teachable, for example,
Yeah.
gives you more control over your branding and pricing,
Okay.
but you're responsible for driving traffic to your course.
So Teachable might be a better fit if I already have an audience, like a blog following or a social media presence.
Exactly.
Oh,
And then platforms like Skillshare offer a subscription model
oh, interesting.
where students pay a monthly fee to access a library of courses.
Got it.
That can be a good option if you're comfortable with a lower price point per course, but potentially reaching a wider audience.
So there's really a platform for every type of course creator.
There is, yeah. It just depends on what you're looking for.
Okay, so no matter which platform you choose, though, high quality content is key.
Well, absolutely. Your course needs to be well-structured, engaging, informative.
No.
Think about what your students want to learn and how you can deliver that information in a way that's clear, concise, and enjoyable.
I imagine video quality is important too.
Definitely nobody wants to watch a blurry, poorly lit course.
Exactly.
Investing in some decent lighting and audio equipment can make a huge difference in the overall quality of your course.
Okay, good tip.
And don't forget about editing.
Editing.
A well-edited video can make even the most complex topics easy to understand.
Good point. I'm taking notes. Okay, now let's shift gears to subscription newsletters.
Yeah.
You mentioned finding your tribe, but can you give me some more specific examples of like niche newsletters that are doing well?
Sure. Niche newsletters are thriving because they cater to very specific interests. For
Look at that.
example, there are newsletters dedicated to everything from vintage watches to sourdough bread baking to indie video
Oh,
games.
so specific.
Very specific.
So it's all about tapping into those passionate communities that exist around even the most seemingly niche topics.
Exactly. People crave connection and information, and niche newsletters provide both.
That's true.
And because these audiences are so engaged,
Yeah,
they're more likely to open emails, click links, even make purchases based on recommendations.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm starting to see the appeal, but how do you strike that balance between providing valuable content
Mhm.
and subtly promoting products or services?
Right.
I don't want to come across as too salesy.
I hear you. Authenticity is key when it comes to newsletters.
Okay.
You need to build trust with your audience
Right.
and avoid bombarding them with constant pitches.
So what's the best approach?
Focus on providing genuine value first and foremost.
Okay.
Share your insights, your expertise, your curated recommendations in a way that feels authentic and helpful.
So if I'm running a newsletter about sustainable fashion,
Hmm.
I wouldn't just promote any brand that comes my way.
Right.
I'd carefully select brands that align with my values and that I genuinely believe in.
Exactly. Your recommendation should feel like an extension of your content, not a forced sales pitch.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I know we already touched on monetization, but I'm curious to hear more about paid subscriptions.
Okay.
What's the secret to getting people to actually pay for a newsletter?
Well, offering exclusive content that's not available anywhere else is key.
Exclusive content. Okay.
This could include in-depth articles, interviews with experts, behind-the-scenes insights, or even access to a private community forum.
So it's like creating a VIP experience for your most loyal subscribers.
Exactly. People are willing to pay for content that provides real value
Yeah.
and that they can't get anywhere else.
Makes sense.
But you also need to build trust and demonstrate your expertise consistently before asking people to open their wallets.
Right. Prove your worth before asking for a commitment.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, we've covered a lot of ground with these creative side hustles,
We have.
but I'm sure there are challenges that come with each one.
Oh, absolutely. Every side hustle comes with its own set of hurdles.
I bet.
But that's part of what makes it so rewarding, overcoming those challenges and seeing your hard work pay off.
It's definitely not always going to be easy, right?
Nope. Side hustles take work.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of work involved, and you're not going to get rich quick.
Definitely not a get-rich-quick scheme.
Nope. It takes dedication, perseverance, and a willingness to learn and adapt.
Oh, yeah, you gotta be ready to roll with the punches.
But I think that's what makes it so satisfying.
I agree.
You're building something on your own terms, and the rewards can be both financial and personal.
Absolutely. It's not just about the money.
Right. Speaking of rewards, let's talk about the non-monetary benefits of these side hustles. We've focused a lot on the income potential,
Right.
but I imagine there's more to it than just making extra cash.
For sure, these side hustles can help you develop new skills, expand your network, and even discover hidden talents or passions you never knew you had.
So someone who starts flipping furniture might discover they have a knack for design, or someone who launches a newsletter might find they love writing and connecting with an audience.
Exactly. It's all about exploring new possibilities.
And even if you don't turn your side hustle into a full-time gig,
Right.
the skills and experience you gain can be invaluable in your personal and professional life.
Absolutely. It's an investment in yourself.
I love that. It's like an investment in yourself, not just financially, but also in terms of personal growth and development. Now, before we wrap up, I want to touch on something that's been on my mind.
Mm.
We've talked a lot about finding your niche,
Right, the niche.
but what if you have multiple passions or interests? Do you have to choose just one?
That's a great question. And the answer is you don't necessarily have to limit yourself.
Okay.
Some people find success by combining their interests into a unique side hustle hybrid.
A hybrid, that's interesting.
Yeah, so for example, you could have a newsletter that combines your love of cooking with your passion for sustainable living.
Okay, I like that.
Or you could create an online course that teaches a specific skill through the lens of a particular hobby.
So instead of feeling like you have to choose one passion over another, you can find creative ways to blend them together.
Exactly. It's all about finding what works for you and what resonates with your audience.
I love that because I think it's really empowering to know that you don't have to fit into a neat little box. You can be
Yeah.
multi-passionate and create something truly unique.
Exactly. Embrace your passions.
All right, well, as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of creative side hustles, I want to leave our listeners with a final thought. Any words of wisdom?
Well, I hope you're feeling inspired and ready to take action.
Absolutely. And remember, this is just a starting point.
Hmm.
The world of side hustles is constantly evolving, and new possibilities are emerging all the time.
So stay curious, stay open to new ideas, and don't be afraid to experiment.
You never know what amazing opportunities are waiting to be discovered.
That's right. And who knows, your side hustle might not just bring in extra income,
Yeah.
but also lead to a more fulfilling and purpose-driven life.
I love that. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive.